anything. I would do anything for my children.
No further questions, Your Honor.
What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here. And welcome to Soul Caps, y'all. Oh my God. Let me tell y'all something, man. This is gonna be a rant. I haven't been this disappointed with GH since the Heather Weber reveal as the Hook Killer 3 years ago. And I'm so pissed. I am so pissed. I am pissed and disappointed at the same time. Let's understand something here and put this into a bigger perspective. We went through a 4-year witch hunt to figure out who Drew's shooter was. We spent 4 months now. Remember that. We spent 4 months. I believe the Hook Killer reign was way longer than that. But we went through 4 months, right? 4 months to figure out who this shooter was. And it ended up being someone that we knew all along. 4 months of making people think about this suspect, 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 this suspect. And even people from the dead. And it ends up being one of your top 2 red herrings in either Michael or Willow. And it was Willow. Everybody, including their dead grandmothers, knew it was Willow. So you decided to waste. This was a great whodunit, by the way. Like, as far as the way they built it up to the reveal, it was great. You did this whole big whodunit. And the shooter ends up being fucking Willow? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You ended up making it fucking Willow? God damn it, man. You ended up making it fucking Willow. Oh my God. Before we start, man, for those of y'all who want to see these full scenes, I'm going to tell y'all something. Drew's crash out was great. And I wasn't able to post the whole thing here on YouTube. But if you want to see that whole crash out, I got it on my Patreon. Or I will have it on the Patreon in a couple of days. You go watch it there. And everything from Willow's trial will be there as well. So far from this week, I got Monday's full scenes from the trial. Tuesday's full scenes from the trial are already up. I'm working on Wednesday. And then we'll have today's on Thursday. We'll have it all up on the Patreon. We got a couple of new signups. Thank you to you guys who just signed up, by the way. We are 3 signups away from hitting our goal for the month of getting to 25 members on Soul Caps Plus on the Patreon. I'm so excited. We've gotten up to 22 members. Didn't think I'd get this far this fast with that Patreon, but we are almost at 25 members, y'all. So thank you to the 2 that just joined. You know who you are. Thank you very much. For those of y'all that haven't joined yet and y'all want to see those scenes, link is in the description box for the Patreon, and I will see y'all over there, man. But let's get to this. So Willow's on the stand. Willow has to testify because of Drew's mess. Drew ruined it for Willow. Like, Willow was likely going to lose the case at that point and lose her freedom. So she had to save herself. Alexis had to call an audible. She had to save herself because of Drew's mess on the stand. He crashed out. Turner got his ass good. But Willow had to go up there. And Willow actually did a good job. She did a good job. Had everyone convinced that, she kind of had the same kind of testimony that Michael had, where she kept her calm. Some just clicked at her head to be calm. But during that time when she was being questioned, her memory started coming back. That she got Edward's gun from a different time. Then on the night of the shooting on September 2nd, she started going over the events in her car. And in Drew's home, she had the glove on, the O.J. Simpson glove, and she started pulling on that trigger. It revealed that it was Willow. Shooter was Willow Kane. The only thing is, only she knows, but there's a lot of things that doesn't make sense. First, before we get into it, I got to rant first, and then we got to talk about some things after this. I just want to give everyone who went with Willow as the shooter and stuck by it all this time, the main one being black on my channel, being black, turquoise, purple, because they were consistent on it being Willow all of this time. I got to give them credit, because you could have easily been swayed away from that. Black, purple, turquoise. My bad. I think I said it the other way. Black, purple, turquoise. Shout out to you. Out of everyone, because there might have been some of you guys that were consistent with it too, but that's the person that I remember the most being the most consistent of saying it was Willow. Shout out to you. And everyone else. My whole thing was this. I think, look, it wasn't really hard to guess that it was Willow, because Willow was one of the top 2 red herrings all along. It always came down to, would the show have a backbone and actually make the shooter someone that wasn't one of the top 2 red herrings, which was Michael and Willow? That's what this all came down to. Were they going to have a backbone and actually make the shooter someone that nobody expected? Like, I believe Diego was a text message killer. I can't remember what the official name for that killer was. It was so long ago. But that was the killer that killed Emily and my girl Georgie. And it ended up being Diego. That reveal was phenomenal. Because I remember at the time, I was still shocked that it was Diego. I was really shocked that it was Diego. So that was a pretty good reveal. That was a pretty good reveal in my opinion. I thought they did that reveal pretty good. They did a pretty good job on that reveal, in my opinion. Now, this one on the other hand, the problem that I had with this reveal was that you did a whole 4-month. Guys, you got to understand something. They did a whole 4-month reveal. A whole 4-month reveal. Loud ass siren distracting my ass. A whole 4-month reveal. To reveal the most obvious suspect in the case. Because I think Willow was more obvious than Michael was. you had people guessing from suspect to suspect for it to just be Willow. Someone that everybody knew in the first fucking place. What was the point? I was telling y'all before, when they revealed that Willow was the one that was stalking Sasha. Sasha's baby, Daisy. I was like, okay. Because it only took Michael, like, what, a month to figure that out? I was like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. I like the way y'all did that because we all kind of guessed that, too, that it might have been Willow. But they didn't drag that out. They didn't make a huge deal of it like they did with this shooting. It was cool. But this, on the other hand, you had people thinking from this person to this person, from this person to this person, all for it to be a red herring? Bro, you don't do whodunits like this, bro. Whodunits are supposed to be the least obvious suspects. This is why I kept on bringing up Dallas. Because Dallas did a genius job with the J.R. Ewing shooting. I wanted GH to do something close to that. And I always used to bring up, not just for the whodunit purposes, but because I always looked at Drew as like a hated man in town. Like a JR was on Dallas. So I was like, you know, I said, man, GH could be doing the same shit right here. You know, GH could really GH could really do something good right here, man. They could go ahead and make this the shooting suspect someone that nobody would have thought of. Because in that show, the obvious suspects was like, mainly like Sue Ellen, who was JR's wife. You know, you had Bobby, his brother, you had Pam, his sister-in-law, you know what I'm saying? You know, you had people like that, Pam's brother, and some of his rivals from the industry. Like, you had a whole set of people, but they were red herrings, though. And they went with somebody who was not a red herring. They went with Sue Ellen's sister, Christian Shepherd, who later revealed that she was holding his baby. And that became a whole nother storyline right after that. So that was genius. Like, that was gold, right? That was a gold whodunit reveal. You couldn't have went wrong with that one. It was gold. Like, you couldn't hate on it. Now, with GH, they're already in hot water because the Heather Weber as the hook killer was pathetic. Pathetic. Then Cyrus, last year. Well, what was that? Yeah, last year. But at least with Cyrus, I didn't have too much of a problem with the Cyrus one just because of the fact that it did make sense that it was him. And then the other thing was it set up another storyline with Josh going into the WSB and Brennan covering that whole thing up. So I liked the way they went with it. And I didn't think it was that big of a mystery anyways, like this one was, where you'd be too pissed that it was Cyrus. But still, they still went with a red herring suspect, and the most red herring suspect in that one was Cyrus. So it's like, GH, why do y'all like to play it safe so much? Like, this is a chance for y'all to bring in even more interest when you bring in a suspect that nobody sees coming. Like, if it would have been Scout, right? Someone that nobody would have saw coming was Scout. Then, even though people even said her name, but it's like, still, that would have shocked the hell out of people. Just because of her age. And then that's his daughter. Then, those other suspects that I kept coming up with, which was people from the dead, like a Emily, like a Sam, Nell. Imagine if that shit was Nell. Oh my God. If Nell had came back, because it would have made a lot more sense for Willow's situation too. Wiley's mother coming back. Like, that would have been chaos on so many levels, but in a good way. Then you got Morgan, who could have came back and did it. But imagine if it was Sam. Imagine if it was Sam. I mean, I think y'all shit the bed. Y'all wasted a perfect opportunity to bring in massive intrigue. Because I'm telling you, you got people who probably haven't watched the show in a while. If you made one of those suspects the shooter, oh my God, those people probably would have been like, I gotta flip GH back home. Oh, they doing some shit over here, man. They brought back Nell. They brought back Sam. They brought back Emily. Instead, you made it fucking Willow. Not that Willow isn't an exciting suspect. See, this thing is not about Willow. Because Willow makes a lot of sense. But you did a whole build-up. The problem is you did a whole build-up. You can't make it a red herring when you do a build-up like this. You can't. You gotta just reveal this like a lot sooner. And in a separate situation. Like, you can't do it like this. Y'all was building this up to the point where some people thought, like, shit, I saw people in the GH community saying, man, this might not be revealed until the nurses' ball in May. Hell, will we go in 2026 and not even know who the shooter was? We go into 2027 and not find out today. And I think you could have got away with it. I'm being honest with you. I think y'all could have got away with going into 2027, nobody knowing who the shooter was. I think you could have got away with it. For real, for real. Like, I'm keeping it a $150 with y'all, man. I really think y'all could have got away with it. I really do. I really think y'all could have got away with it. Because as long as the payoff for people is a reveal that they are shocked with and pleasantly surprised about, you could have got away with it. Of course people gonna be tired of, like, look, man, people, that's just gonna be people's reaction. They get tired of waiting. You know what I'm saying? Like, people were getting tired of waiting like 2 months ago. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't give a damn about that. I didn't give a damn about how long it was gonna take. The thing for me was the payoff whenever y'all do it. Whenever y'all do it, just make it worth it to people. Right? Just make it worth it to people to have followed this great storyline. But now that it is Willow, it's almost like, really? Like, we saw that coming. Like, you couldn't have just revealed this back in October? They made it fucking Willow, man. I'm not gonna be able to get over it. Yo. They literally made it somebody who everybody knew it was going to be. The only hope that I got is that Willow dreamed it up and she still didn't really wasn't the one that pulled the trigger. That's the only hope that I got. It's the only hope that I got for y'all is that in some miracle, and it's only got a 1% chance of happening, but in some miracle fashion, she dreamed it up but she still wasn't even the shooter. That is the only way this could be salvaged. But I really think they're done with it. They're done with it. They're done with it after today. They're done with it. Which is why this sucks. Man, y'all. This is so disappointing on so many levels, man. I think what we're gonna do is this, because I think this video is running almost 20 minutes long. It might be already at 20. What we're gonna do is this. Next video, we're gonna talk about the future. Because I still gotta reveal how, and then that was the other thing. Y'all didn't even do the reveal right. Instead of doing the flashbacks, y'all should have did it with, in the cliffhanger, you had the ringtone. That would have been pretty good. Because then people would have figured it out that way instead of the flashbacks. But, yeah, let's talk about that next, man. Going ahead and get this video a like, share, subscribe. Shout out to those guys that got it right. I was wrong. It is what it is. I'll admit when I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? But, get this video a like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for watching this one. So Capsy. I'll see y'all in the next video.